Hi everyone, this is Catherine Klubnik. Today I'll be discussing a tricky ethical dilemma in my hypothetical mentoring relationship. In this situation, we have a mentor, myself, and mentee, who have been working together for over a year. During a lunchtime conversation, my mentee blindsides me with the fact that she was charged with sexual assault over 15 years ago as a teenager, did jail time, but has not gotten into trouble since. So, what is my immediate reaction? Even a seasoned mentor might have a hard time hiding their shock with this one. My honest immediate reaction is surprise, concern, and curiosity. That information just does not easily reconcile with the person sitting in front of me, the person I have come to know personally over the last year. I have loyally supported her, guided her through overcoming professional challenges, and helped her to grow into an up-and-coming leader. The thought of having to comb through this now is frustrating, and I have dedicated so much time to this person that the news is just simply disappointing. Why this information? Why now? Has it been weighing heavily on her mind? Does she feel like it's holding her back in some way? Does she have a guilty conscience and just wants to tell me because she thinks it'll come out eventually? Or is it just a remark she doesn't think I'll pay much mind to? The motive matters here, and I owe it to my mentee and to myself to have this conversation and get those answers. If it turns out that there is no greater context for divulging that information, and my mentee simply felt like getting it off her chest, I'm going to feel a little differently about it. If the existence of her previous criminal history is a barrier to achieving her goals, or is in some way impeding her progress, it might be valuable information to dissect. But even still, transparency is a cornerstone of a mentoring relationship. As mentors, we understand the vital role that having an open relationship plays in the mentee's progress. If this information was in any way a hindrance to achieving those goals, then I would feel frustrated that we waited so long to get that out in the open. Again, the motive here matters. It's a tough one. You don't want to close yourself off to conversation, but the mentee should also not alienate the mentor. As the mentor, what would I do with this information? For me, it boils down to the legalities. Did the mentee sign an agreement that stated she had a clean criminal history, or lie on an application when entering the mentoring relationship? What if the company doesn't have a formal program and there was no application or contract? What if my mentee's criminal history was expunged at some point and therefore she did not have to legally claim it on anything? If that were the case, then there isn't anything to do with that information. No legal obligation to do anything with it. I would have a hard time saying that she's a danger to anyone currently, since she's gone 15 years without incident. In that situation, I owe my mentee our predetermined privacy and confidentiality. I cannot disclose it to anyone. I obviously don't like what I'm hearing, but she's already gone through the system and come out on the other side. And while that's true, I also don't have to feel okay about it as the mentor. This will impact the relationship. First and foremost, as a human, I have a right to feel uncomfortable while I process this new information. It is hard to compartmentalize something like that and separate someone's past from their present when you've known them in a different light for over a year. I try to balance that with the notion that she did pay her debt to society, hopefully, and give her credit for not reoffending over the last 15 years. The time that has passed between then and now does not make the crime any less serious, but it helps for me to know personally that it was not a recurring problem, and maybe just a mistake that she learned from as a teenager. I would try to keep in mind that people are more than the sum of their worst mistake, and that my mentee has done a lot of good in her life as well. But still, concerns remain. Ethically, I do have to consider whether she broke any laws, falsified employment forms, and consider if she's a registered sex offender or working with children, things like that. Morally, I know sexual assault is wrong, and it is a huge departure from my own values. As a woman, I might have my own personal experiences with sexual assault and might come to simply feel betrayed and resentful. When it comes down to it, though, if there are no legal considerations, I would try my best to overcome this ethical dilemma and work with my mentee to get any lost trust back. If we found over time that the relationship just was not the same, we would need to work towards dissolving it.